Hello and welcome back to another out of spec detailing video here from Clear Detailing in Northern Colorado. Behind me here, we have the out of spec Tesla Cybertruck. We have been having all kinds of fun adventures on this vehicle and have over 12,000 miles on our Cyber Beast back here. This just got back from a large road trip going to California, staying out there for about 3 weeks, and then it finally just today got back from California, and it is quite dirty. In front of me here, we have the official Tesla Cybertruck detailing kit. This is sold by Tesla at a very, very premium price, and I'm going to be giving you my full review of the Cybertruck detailing kit. So welcome back, let's jump into it. Now, as many of you probably know by now, the Tesla Cybertruck is made out of stainless steel on the exterior. And this has been a true challenge to figure out what works and what doesn't work to clean it. I recently, at the beginning of the year, went down to Austin, Texas with one of the very, very early Tesla Cybertrucks and was able to bring you guys my recommendations of cleaning products to clean the Cybertruck. Tesla just a couple weeks ago launched this though. This is the official Cybertruck detailing kit. What this is really meant to be is not for full in-depth details, but rather a kit that you can throw in the front trunk or in the back bed storage area and just have on you to clean up a few spots here and there. This is not meant to be a full car wash and a full deep clean, but just some touch-up spots. Now, what comes with this kit for the price point is very surprising. So first off, let's start on price. This retails at $130 for the contents you see here. That is 4 microfiber towels and 4 cleaning solutions. The cleaning solutions are stainless steel, waterless wash, interior cleaner, and glass cleaner. And that is $130. Right off the bat, that's a ton of money. I mean, if you really break this down, you're probably paying 25 bucks for a bottle of cleaner here, which are 12 ounces. They're actually pretty small bottles. And then getting basically 30 bucks for 4 microfiber towels. It's a big ask for the price point. The other question I have, when you run out of, say, a glass cleaner or a waterless wash, can you purchase more? From what I can tell, these are not refillable. So you're gonna have to buy these every time if this is just the best cleaning solution out there. I'll be curious to see how this works today. I gotta say, for packaging and everything that comes with this, it's really quite cool. Of course, here on the bottle, you have what your product actually is in a nice aluminum bottle. These are not stainless steel bottles, which I originally thought they were, which to me for 130 bucks, they definitely should be. But these are basic aluminum bottles. They do feel quite nice, but they're very, very small. The triggers on these as a professional detailer, I don't know about these. I'll be curious to see how these work. They definitely feel very plasticky and very flimsy, but I also think it's very nice. We have Cybertruck branding on here. We have Cybertruck branding on all of the microfiber towels that come individually wrapped. So that is quite cool there. My curiosity with this sparks from, where does this product actually come from? This is definitely not made by Tesla. Tesla is going to a detailing supply company going, we need a stainless steel cleaner, we need a waterless wash, an interior cleaner, and a glass cleaner. Put that in a package for us and we're gonna sell it to customers. Well, I think this is a very cool option and something that could potentially be useful. I think it's more of a novelty, of a thing to have that's Cybertruck branded. I do think there is a cool aspect to that, but my hopes are that it actually works. So what we're gonna do here is we have our out of spec Cybertruck back here. It has been through hell and back, quite literally. It's been on a huge road trip for the last 3 weeks, covering, I don't know, 3, 4, 5,000 miles. It's filled with bugs on the front. We have water spots all over it. We also have some of the rust spots, which I'll be talking about in an upcoming video here on this particular truck and why it's not as big of a deal as most people make it out to be. But we're gonna start off by using the waterless wash. Now, the waterless wash is intended as Tesla says, for cold weather washing. Now, a lot of the times, if you're going to be doing this, say it's 30 degrees outside, I have a feeling this waterless wash is going to freeze up on you. That's just my experience in the detailing industry for the past 10 years. But I do think this is going to be important to have for fingerprints and smudges that you get on here. Say you just cleaned up your car, you're taking it to a Cars and Coffee, maybe a bird pooped on it, maybe you just got a little bit of drizzle or rain and you just want to touch up a spot. That's where waterless wash is going to work very, very well for this. Next, we have the stainless steel cleaner, and this is an interesting one to me. It says for best case use, you want to use the waterless wash first, so I'm curious to see how they interact with each other there. But they also claim that this is going to give some protection to the Cybertruck. So is this their version of a ceramic coating or a sealant? We're going to find all of that out and more. Next over here, of course, we have an interior cleaner. When you read the list of what this is meant to be used on your interior, you would think everything from seats to steering wheels, basically everything that is either the vegan leather, hard plastics, or anything like that. Likely, of course, not the screens or carpets or anything like that. But it excludes the seats, which is weird to me. So it's only really for steering wheels, hard areas like plastics and things like that. But why not the seats? I don't know. This is just what they say. Spoiler alert, I really think this can be used on your interior seats, because if you can use it on your steering wheel, which is very similar to the same material on the seats and the door panels, you get where I'm going at there. Next will be the glass cleaner. Now there's tons of glass cleaners out there. It's very, very important to use non-ammoniated glass cleaners. Now a lot of you who have watched my series on cleaning the Tesla Cybertruck may be confused, because I actually recommend on the exterior of the vehicle for fingerprints and wipe downs to use ammoniated Windex. Now, the only reason we don't use ammonia on glass is typically for tint. It can actually start to destroy tint. Now there's big controversies out there in the industry right now talking about how ammonia is terrible for you, it's terrible for stainless steel for some reason, and these are mostly from folks who have never seen a Cybertruck up close, let alone cleaned or detailed one of them. So we'll be touching on that in a few videos coming up, but I'm anxious to test out the glass cleaner. The interesting thing with this kit really comes down to the microfiber towels to me. If I pop one of these open here, they're more like micro suede, or something that I would see used for cleaning normal glass. Like think of a wine glass cloth. That's what these really feel like. And that's mostly on the front here. First off, what? That is the tiniest towel I've ever seen. This has got to be, I guess, 1 foot by 1 foot towel. Holy smokes, these are tiny. Typical detailing towels you'll see will be 16 by 16s, and man, I already feel how small this is. How are you supposed to take one of these towels and waterless wash your entire truck? I don't think that's what it's really meant to do. We'll use some of these, we'll use some other microfibers, which I would probably recommend having in your truck, but this seems a little gimmicky to me. We do have the Cybertruck logo on here, which is quite cool, and we also have a little bit of a fluffier side. Now, from all the directions that I've read on this kit, it doesn't say you need to use this one for stainless steel or waterless wash or interior or glass. They just say, here's your kit. So I think that's a little interesting, because as a detailer, waterless wash towels are going to be very different from interior towels that are going to be very different from stuff that I use on glass and other materials on the exterior of the vehicle. So I think that's a little strange. So first off, I think this is very, very expensive. That's one of the biggest things with this, but my hopes are it works. So what we're gonna do, I'm actually not going to wash the Cybertruck here before I test out specifically the exterior products. What I want to do, and what Tesla wants you to do, is basically have this as a kit for on the go. They even say on their website, this is great for when you're on road trips or when you're at a supercharger stop, need to kind of hit an area quickly. So let's keep that in mind, not a full dedicated detailing kit like the name may suggest. Now this truck, of course, like I said, has not been washed for a while. Just went through a rainstorm, just came back from California. So it's kind of in that perfect area where I would say waterless wash, especially on stainless steel, is probably fine to use on here. So we're gonna use this back panel here. test out the waterless wash, see how it looks, see how it feels, see how it applies, and most importantly, see how much you use per panel, because I think you're gonna go through these bottles very quickly, and if they're really good, spending 130 bucks every time to get a full another kit seems a little crazy to me. So first, let's jump into the exterior of the vehicle, and we really need to start off with a waterless wash. This rear panel here is one of my favorites. It's quite large. It's not completely filled with bugs, where I think waterless wash is not going to do a great job. That's going to really need a full dedicated hand wash. We can definitely try it up there to see what it does to bugs, but I really don't think it's going to be a great cleaner for that. So this panel back here, we have lots going on. We have fingerprints that I've actually put in here. It's really nasty, but you can essentially test cleaners on Tesla Cybertruck by rubbing a bare hand on your head, smacking some oil and nasty fingerprints on there, and then you can figure out what product works best. So I'm gonna split this up into 3 sections because we have water spots on here, we've got rust stains, we've got fingerprints. I think this is gonna be a perfect demonstration of how well or how bad the waterless wash works. So I'm gonna do a small section of the new dedicated Cybertruck waterless wash. We're also going to test Windex here in the middle with ammonia. That was my recommendation for how to remove issues like this. And then lastly, on the back side here, we're going to compare it to a traditional waterless wash from Adams Polishes. So off camera here, I'm going to grab my insanely small Cybertruck towel. I mean, this is literally hilarious. The funny thing that I don't know with this is which side they're wanting you to use. Now, as a detailer, I'm going to use a little bit of ingenuity and say probably use the large pile first and then finish it off with the other side. So I always like to take towels, fold them in quarters. This is just this is hilarious how small this is, like pretty embarrassing. So first off, sprayer actually quite nice. Okay, color me surprised there. So let's just hit this section down. I'm gonna spray this down. I'm gonna wipe it. And all of those fingerprints are actually gone. So that's great to see. Wow. So far, guys, that feels very, very smooth. I actually really like how this feels. Now, again, we have a ton of rust spots on here. Did not touch those. And this is gonna be a situation where the barkeeper's friend Windex solution that I recommended is probably going to be amazing to get those off. Again, stay tuned for a further video. But I would actually say that feels quite nice. The only thing I want to test with this is a traditional normal microfiber towel. Now these are cheapo ones that I get from Costco. I use them for very dirty surfaces. I just want to see if this makes any sort of difference on this. Just kind of buff it in. Again, I like to have a dry side and a wet side. Wow, that feels really good. So you can see how much bigger a normal detailing towel is. And yeah, I would say that's probably best there. So, okay, the towels so far I would say are one of my biggest gripes, but I actually really like how this waterless wash looks. It doesn't turn it orange. It got all of the stains out. It looks very, very even from what I can see. Again, lots of those rust spots still remain. I don't expect those to be gone. Next, moving on just to see how Windex does compared to this, as this is my true benchmark. Let's spray this on here and see. And I can already see it feels quite a bit different. What I've found with this is you kind of want to let it dry and then wipe it down. And I gotta tell you, it looks pretty darn similar. Now, it's hard to tell from here. Now they look nearly exactly the same, but I can still see a few little fingerprint spots where over here they are completely gone. So this waterless wash is actually working quite well. Let me try and get some of these off. So I may just not have gotten that spot that great, but I will say that's looking quite good. Now lastly, I would like to try a normal waterless wash. Now this is the wrong bottle. This says Matte Detailer on it. Trust me in saying this is Adams waterless wash. Let's just test it back here. This is the purple juice, of course. And as I can see, it almost looks like we got more dirt off of that one. But realistically, I would say this didn't clean as well as the Windex. But honestly, in this case, I would say that the waterless wash from the Cybertruck detailing kit almost looks the best. It's a little bit more clear. I can still see that fingerprint in there. Very interesting stuff. So I like this. Very, very good. So before I forget here, let's jump into some bug guts and things like this. Now this may look extreme, but this is reality with Tesla Cybertruck. This of course just was on a large road trip. I have the waterless wash cleaner over here. I want to let this sit for a few seconds here, kind of eat away these bugs, and I'm anxious to see what this is actually going to look like. So I've grabbed, again, my incredibly small towel. I'm going to wipe this away. And yes, it did take some bugs off, so I would say maybe this for some intermittent stuff, you know, you just got a few on the front, it may be okay. But I would say, didn't do much with staining, still tons of bugs left over. That's kind of a no-go. This is a situation where the truck really needs a full dedicated hand wash. Next up, stainless steel cleaner. Now I expect this to be a little bit more out of an intensive cleaner on here, and I'm anxious to see what it's actually going to look like. Now I would say this should be somewhat similar to my Barkeeper's Friend recommendation, but this is a sprayable form, which you can also get from Barkeepers, and I'll be testing that in some upcoming videos, but I'm anxious to see what this does to it. I'm also anxious to see if it removes any of the rust spots. I'll definitely bring you in and show you what all these look like, because they look absolutely terrible on here. I'm also very anxious to see if this turns this any sort of orangish color. My theory is probably yes, it will. Now, everybody who tells me this is the best stainless steel cleaner, whether it's Wyman's or name your brand of stainless steel cleaner, they all turned the Cybertruck orange. They all made it very uneven and it looked absolutely terrible. So let's just give this a try here. Now this is a buff on, buff off type of situation. It seems more like a completely clear cleaner. I expected it to kind of be opaque here. It actually did take off the rust spots. So that's pretty cool. Now to me it smells a little bit like vinegar, and as I'm working this in, just trying to get some more of these rust spots off, it doesn't seem to be getting all of them off. So it got a little bit up here. Maybe we can apply some more here. It's doing a little bit, but not a ton. Now, what I don't like already, so far as I can tell you, is how this is looking. To me, it's looking very splotchy, and it is very splotchy. I don't think anybody actually tested this on a Cybertruck, because this looks absolutely terrible. Let me bring you guys in for a closer look. Looks terrible. First off, this is the section I just worked in right there. And they had to have not even sort of tested this. They may have tested it on a refrigerator, genuinely, I'm not trying to be funny, and said, this stuff works great on fridges. It's gonna be perfect for Cybertrucks. Now, what I want you to see over here, this silvery color is more what I like to see on Cybertrucks. This orangish tinge is exactly what happened every time I used everybody's favorite stainless steel cleaner, from WD-40 to Wyman's. Any stainless steel cleaner you get from Target, Walmart, whatever it may be, did exactly this, and it looks absolutely terrible. How is Tesla selling this stuff? That right there, the whole kit to me is just like, it's not worth 130 bucks. The waterless wash did great, but you can't buy it separately. So the stainless steel, absolute no-go. Now these are all the rust spots we have on here. All these little specks are embedded rust. Now I do need to make a quick disclaimer before you guys freak out in the comments. The truck is not rusting. What this is industrial fallout. Basically, iron particulates that are in the air, rail yard dust as well, fall on vehicles and get embedded into stainless steel in this particular case. vehicles like this Porsche Boxster back here, this is something in the detailing industry we see all the time. To remove it, you either need to clay bar it, you need to polish the vehicle, or you need to use a chemical product called Iron X. What Iron X does is goes in, reacts with the embedded rust, which is really iron particulates here. It releases it from the surface. Typically it bleeds bright purple. You'll see that on wheel cleaners as well, and it will take all of that off. So just be aware, this is not the Cybertruck rusting. This is normal for every single car. You just see it quite a bit more on the Cybertruck. But this right here, stainless steel, huge thumbs down. Next, moving to the inside, and one of the most important things is to have a good interior cleaner. So in my hands over here, of course, we have the interior cleaner. Now, the interesting thing with this is they say that it's meant to clean, protect, and maintain your interior. I'm curious what they mean by protect. I'm hoping this has some sort of UV inhibitors in there, which will help with basically your entire interior. The strange thing, though, that I can't get over, and I reread it again, is it doesn't say to use it on seats. It says it's meant to be used on hard plastic areas such as dashboards, center consoles, and door cards. Door card and seat material are near as makes no difference the same on Cybertruck, so that's a little strange. I definitely think you can absolutely use this safely on seats. Don't take my recommendation for it. Try it in a small inconspicuous space before you use it. Make sure it works okay, but I don't foresee any sort of issues. Now, I'm going to grab my extremely tiny dinky towel over here yet again. This door panel is not filthy. Maybe you can see down here we've got a few little kicks. We've got some dust here in the buttons. We've got a few little smudges and stains around here. And I'm gonna use it here how I think 9 times out of 10 people are going to do this. Now, of course, you don't wanna soak buttons here or areas like your steering wheel. And I'm just going to quickly work this in. Now, I don't believe this is going to be a super aggressive product. As I can see here, we have some sort of food, maybe makeup. I'm not exactly sure. It is coming off, but I think the towel's doing more of the work than the actual cleanser here. These triggers are very, very strange. And as I dry this off, I think it did just an adequate job. I wouldn't say it's unbelievably amazing. I would say it's a light little interior cleaner. Now, one thing I will note, when I clean interiors, this is for deep, heavy interior cleaning, you have to agitate them. So what I'm gonna do is spray this on here, and I'm going to grab a detailing brush, and it actually does foam up quite nice. So if you have something that's a little bit heavier staining, you're gonna wanna do this on your interior. I wish they'd supply some sort of a brush or something in your kit, but again, I don't think this is gonna be something you're gonna be doing a full interior detail. I really think this is just meant for the road. And I gotta say, this looks pretty nice. It looks like an average interior cleaner. It doesn't smell. It's not very fragrant, which is good for a lot of folks. I hate having interior cleaners that are very pungent or smell artificially clean. I think this works perfectly fine. Honestly, I have no complaints for it. It's hard to tell how dirty you can actually clean with this. Our truck isn't completely filthy. It's a little nasty from a road trip. So I would say in that case, this worked quite well. Absolutely adequate. No complaints from me there. So last and final product we're going to be talking about is the glass cleaner in here. Now, this is a great product to have if you get some water spots on your window. Maybe you have some kids in the back of your car, have some fingerprints on here. Maybe you have some dog slobber that you want to get off. You just want to get your windows dialed in. Now, I think this is going to be, of course, a very, very useful product just to have around you. What I am concerned about, though, is their towel situation here. Again, these towels are far too small. In my opinion, they're way too thick for cleaning glass, and they're not the right pile. I have a feeling this is going to leave a little lint, potentially be a little grabby. Now, everybody has their own preferred glass cleaner. I use Koch Chemie glass cleaner here at the shop for cleaning windows, and let's just give this a shot here. So I'm gonna spray a little bit on my rag here, not too much, just a little mist. These are absolutely terrible trigger sprayers here. It does not feel great to me, if I'm perfectly honest. I don't like this towel whatsoever for glass until you flip it over. That actually feels quite nice. Not too terribly bad. Left this silky smooth. Now it's important to say this is a tinted window, so we will try it quickly on the exterior window just to see how it does. We're gonna see how it streaks. Make sure there's not any nasty streaking on there. I'm gonna spray this down, get a little bit on there. Works quite good. Got all of those water spots out of there. Now, of course, I'm not going crazy trying to clean this. I can see a ton of lint that this just left, this huge spot right here. Once you flip it over to your dry side though, kind of buffs off quite well. Now let me get out my scan grip light here. This is how I always check. And there is tons of streaks all over it. So I will tell you that could be the towel, that could be the cleaner. Now let me just quickly try this side to see if the heavier pile makes any sort of difference. I hate these towels for glass. Holy smokes, these feel absolutely awful. Yeah, just leaving lint everywhere. They're very tacky, very grabby. Just left lint absolutely everywhere. Now just quickly while we're here, since glass cleaner is always a topic of discussion, let's just try it here on the stainless to see what their glass cleaner looks like. Doesn't smell like it has any sort of vinegar or alcohol or anything like that. Honestly, looks pretty darn good. Maybe made it slightly orange, and I can tell didn't get a bunch of fingerprints off over here. So yeah, not impressed with the glass cleaner whatsoever. So let me give you my final verdict here on the detailing kit. So my final thoughts and feelings on the official Tesla Cybertruck detailing kit. Let's first start off with the good. Number one, the waterless wash was amazing. I really, really like this solution, and I'd actually love to know who's producing this product for this detailing kit, because our waterless wash actually feels great on this particular stainless steel. Now, all waterless washes are not created the same. I've used, of course, as you saw, Adam's waterless wash and was not happy with it. I've used some other ones out there in the industry, and I haven't seemed to fallen in love with one. What I really more or less like to do is full hand wash the vehicles, but I do think this is a pretty good touch-up situation. I also think the Windex works quite well, and considering the price compared to a $130 kit here, yeah, I may just, deal with a few more small fingerprints in areas like that. But I am impressed with the waterless wash. Number two, I'm decently impressed with the interior cleaner. I think it's perfectly acceptable to have in a kit like this that's really meant to be on the road with you for when those mistakes happen, those little touch-up areas, perfectly acceptable with that. And that's kind of where the kit ends, other than the design. I love the design, the packaging's great, having these stainless steel looking bottles, which are really aluminum. I really like the branding on this. I get the whole situation there, but that's where it ends. First off, price point. 130 bucks for this is insane. Now these are expensive trucks. This is $120,000+ Foundation Series Cyber Beast here behind me. You can afford 130 bucks, but do I recommend you do that frequently? No, because I don't see anywhere on Tesla's site to where you can get refills of this, buy single bottles of it. Hopefully soon, maybe they'll just come out with the waterless wash and sell it for 20 bucks a bottle or something similar like that. You do get the carrying case with this. You do get 4 bottles, but they're 12 ounces. They're very small. These are probably the worst part of the entire kit other than the stainless cleaner. The stainless cleaner to me looks like somebody took something off the shelf, again, tested it on their refrigerator and said, this is gonna work amazing on the Cybertruck, and it just doesn't. It looks like absolute crap. So no go on that. Lastly is the glass cleaner. Now I don't know if this has to do with just the towels we're using, but I had streaks absolutely everywhere all over the glass. And Koch Chemie glass cleaner, I can tell you that would not be the situation. So 2 out of the 4 products I really like. The towels, an absolute disaster. I would give this kit, in all honesty, a 3 out of 10, and that is a lot riding on the waterless wash here. The waterless wash is truly impressive. So my recommendation, save your 130 bucks unless you literally just want to buy this kit to have the holder, have the bottles, and have something you can throw in the front trunk of your Cybertruck, or maybe even Model 3, which is what I'm gonna do with this kit after all of these go away. But I also think this is a great gift for somebody that's a big Cybertruck enthusiast. This would be a great Father's Day gift or a new vehicle gift. I think that's a really cool situation. But if you're trying to do anything detailing wise with it, it's a no-go from me. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions below, let me know what you're thinking about Cybertruck content coming up. I'm very anxious to share some more series with you guys, getting this bad boy actually dialed in because it needs some serious love. Thanks so much for watching another out of spec detailing video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps us out in the future, gain a bigger audience. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one soon. Bye-bye.